Hello again, everyone. This is Atram, and I'm doing another Vintage Masters draft. It's just me this time. I know, sad time. Library of Alexandria. Anyways, so just quickly looking over our first pack. The obvious pick, right down there in the corner, is Library of Alexandria because pick one, pack one library, you go with it. It's just awesome. It's unfortunate that we're passing so many good cards. Other noteworthy things: Battle Screech, Frantic Search for Combo, Basking Root Wallet for Madness, Renewed Faith for Cycling, even like Chain Lightning, Dark Hatchling, Power Sink, all good cards, but they all pale in comparison to the Library of Alexandria. Well, Mongrel is a good reason to start off towards the Madness deck. Other good to consider cards. Reanimate can be good. Radiant's Judgment for the Cycling deck. Beetleback Chief for Goblins, but I'm going to go with the Mongrel. Alright, let's see here. So far, so good. Also, if you didn't get a chance to watch the previous draft, I would highly suggest watching it. It was very interesting. John and I both did a Storm deck based off our first two picks, and it actually turned out really well. So I highly suggest you watch it if you haven't. And hopefully our next pack will get passed to us here in just a second. Here we are. Alright. So there's a few interesting cards in here. There's nothing in particular that helps out with blue-green madness. There's turnabout towards like combo. Crescendo of War. What's that even do again? You get a strife counter, your upkeep, your guys attackers get +1, blockers get +1/+0. So all attackers get +1/+0. Only your blockers get +1/+0. Interesting. Radiant's a very powerful flyer. Elvish Aberration's alright. I'm basically out of time. I'm going to actually just take the Tranquil Thicket. I know it wasn't even something I consider. Okay, pick 4 High Tide is something to highly consider going combo with, because High Tide really does make the combo deck. Waterfront Bouncer is great for the Madness deck. And it's a foil High Tide. And we all know that I love playing combo. It's like my favorite thing to do in this format. Like, I love playing combo. Like, there's nothing even to say otherwise about it. So, we're taking the High Tide. Worst case, we just have a High Tide. Basking Root Wallet's good. I don't even know why I took the High Tide, except for the fact that I'm just like, combo, High Tide, High Tide! But Basking Root Wallet's the pick out of that one. So we're definitely not ending up actually in combo. I just took a High Tide for the heck of it, I guess. I don't know why. Repel's good for the tempo portion of this deck. If we're doing blue as our secondary color, which usually I do blue. Although, fires could be really good if we end up with like a red-green. Haven't actually done red-green before. Obsessive Search is good with the Madness, though. But out of this pack, I think the pick is definitely the whatever, the Djinn. The green Djinn. You just take the Djinn and stop talking. Not necessarily a huge fan of any of these. I'm gonna take the elephant guide. Okay, well, killer whale is definitely a reason to do the blue-green. So I'm gonna take the killer whale. And then we'll pick up another cycle land. So we may or may not play the fires. We may or may not play the killer whale. I have no clue. We're probably not playing the high tide, but who knows? Still a lot of options available, so I'm willing to go with whatever I can get. Yeah, I'm not taking that. I'm going to take the Elvish Apparition here. Kind of keep with the heavy green with the fact that it can be open to being in either of the two other colors. Take another Tranquil Thicket. The thing with Killer Whale and High Tide require multiple blue because High Tide you're not going to want to play off one island. That's just silly. I don't really necessarily know if I want any of these. I'll take a Forgotten Cave. Shelter. We're just doing some final pickups here, I guess. So we got some stuff. Definitely our green is our focus so far, with 3 Tranquil Thickets in pack 1 for some reason. I don't know why I have 3 Tranquil Thickets. That's just ridiculous. Well, there's a Swords to Plowshares, and then Battle Screech. That'll be my second Battle Screech that I'll pass. That's just ridiculous. There's a Lightning Dragon. That could be an interesting red card to pick up. Croson Tuskers are a green pick. Chances are we're not going to be in white, unfortunately, because we passed a Battle Screech for the Library of Alexandria. So likely we're either in red or blue. So I'm going to say we're not taking the Swords to Plowshares. Could be this Lightning Dragon, just because it's a 4/4 flyer for 4, but then you have to pay the Echo, but then it becomes an X4 flyer for extra red. I think it's worth taking. This is interesting. Croson Vorine. There's these Realm Seekers, which I'm never certain how I feel about them. Because they come in so late that you're just like, do I really actually want to play them? Would I just rather be playing a Croson Vorine? Maybe a Kindle? So if we hide the blue, because our blue's only alright so far, so we hide the blue, we hide the white, and we go red-green. Picks would be Croson Vorine, Kindle. We'll probably get the Orcish Lumberjack on the way back through, or these Realm Seekers. These things could either be good or they'll be just freaking awful. We'll try them. They're either going to be good or they're going to be freaking awful. Disc is really awesome and all, but I'm going to take the Grizzly Fate because that thing has kicked my butt so many times that I'm just like, I refuse to pass it right now. I've had my butt my ass handed to me, for lack of easier terminology, so many times by that card. It's not even funny. Plus, it seems alright with fires. You know, putting in a whole bunch of hasty guys. We'll grab a Gaia's Embrace. I'm always fine with one of those. It's another High Tide for whoever ended up playing combo, but didn't grab the High Tide we grab. Simian Grunt seems fine. I don't have any problems with picking up a Simian Grunt. I guess we could grab a Dream Pod Druid. We do have 2 enchantments to put on it right now. And it is just a bear in the worst case. Sure, I'll grab a Dream Pod Druid. What? Sea Drake. Yeah, no, I'm not playing a Sea Drake. At this point, there's not that much interesting stuff to grab. I could grab a Triangle of War. Or I could, like, grab a White Dex Mystic Zealot. And there's always Wall of Diffusion. It's gonna be one of these 4. Maybe I'll grab the Caldera Lake so I can splash if I need to. Actually. Which, you know, isn't one of those 4, but that is a very late Yavimaya Elder. I'm gonna take that. Well, Forgotten Cave seems fine. Or an Aftershock. I'm gonna take a cave. And as I said, we'd probably get the Lumberjack on the way back through. So that works out fine for us because it can help us force out things quicker. So no problems with that. This is going to be an interesting deck. Sure, I'll grab a Brindle Shoat. And a Jungle Worm. So we're basically just a green beats deck that's splashing red for stuff. No problems with that. Well, I'm not going to play any of these. So I'm going to grab and get rid of a Choking Sands. Second Jungle Worm's fine. I don't want to be discarding a card at random. So, and I'm not going to play this Scourge remote. Okay, so far so good. The deck looks fine. It's not excellent. I've never done a red-green deck before here, so we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get something that'll help us in this pack. I really have no clue. Necropotence. That does not help us, unfortunately. Another Fires is pretty good, and a Basking Root Wall is really good too. I'm going to grab a second Fires of Yavimaya, so that way we can make certain that we get one. I would like the Basking Root Wall to wheel, but I sincerely doubt that I will. Or I'll just get past another one. I'm fine with that. I'll just snap pick that. Now, I don't really have too many good discard effects yet. I only have one Wild Mongrel. But still, even just playing Basking Root Wall on turn 1 and or 2, depending on if we have Library in our opener, we're playing that on turn 1, obviously. But, yeah. Should be fine. A Flame Tongue Kavu. That seems really nice. That helps. Gets us a little more removal in there. So we might end up playing a whole bunch of like cycle lands too. Which are fine. I have no problems with that. It's a lot quieter on my own. Weird. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, it's definitely an interesting deck so far. I think I'm going to actually grab this Lightning Rift with all these cycling lands. That just seems actually fairly reasonable. It's just basically, I can turn any of those into a burn spell. So I have no problems with grabbing a pick 34 Lightning Rift. Makes this even better too. So there you go. See, now I have 6 cycle lands and a Lightning Rift. That's actually remarkably solid there. Might make that Orcish Lumberjack kind of awkward though, because I'm going to have very few actual forests in the end. I mean, I will have some, obviously, but those Realm Seekers are becoming increasingly awkward too. Who knows? Roar the Worm seems fine. I've got no problems with that. Tops out the curve. on the high end, and then on the flashback, it's just like, whee, I get a guy for 4. Interesting. I think the pick is Nostalgic Dreams, because it lets me like discard these Root Wallas, discard Roar of the Worm, stuff like that. And it can get back some powerful stuff too. I'm gonna grab a Tangle for my sideboard. I could also have seen taking Armor of Thorns for the Dream Pod Druid, but I think the Tangle for the sideboard's fine. Falter seems alright. So this is gonna get interesting. I don't even know how this is gonna really turn out. I mean, we've got a decent creature amount, but we've only got 14 actual creatures. Although we do have Grizzly Fate, which is basically creature, plus we also have Roar of the Worm. And I could take another Jungle Worm, but I'm actually gonna take another Tranquil Thicket because of the Lightning Rift. So I have a billion tapped lands, but with Lightning Rift, I think it's fine because each of those can turn into a late game burn spell. So, okay, we have literally half our lands are non-basics. Over half our lands are going to be non-basics. So Orcus Lumberjack's not going to make the cut because he requires, forests. Chartooth Cougar's alright. I have nothing wrong with that. Sure, I can pick up another Jungle Worm as a big guy. Mana Prism, probably won't play it. And another Shelter. Okay, whatever. So this will be an interesting deck. I don't know quite how it'll build. We'll see. So we've got double Basking Rewalla, Mongrel, Brindleshout, Dream Pod Druid, Yavimaya Elder, Simian Grunts, Jin. all those. So that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Can play one more card. Roar of the Worm. I mean, I wouldn't mind having Nostalgic Dreams in here, but I think Roar of the Worm's better for us. Then we go boing, and so we get what? 8 basic lands. We have both Forest Cycling and Mountain Cycling, so I'm gonna go 3 and 5. I'm gonna have to expect to play probably one of each of these tapped each game, but I think it's worth a shot. This deck definitely could be interesting. We'll see how it works. See y'all in round 1.